What up, gang? Hey, today is day
Now turn left onto Cool Springs Boulevard.
49, I believe, of my semen retention streak. As I'm recording this, I'll post this probably in the 250s or something. I'm just getting back from my acupuncture appointment. This was either the 5th or the 6th one that I've done so far. I'm doing twice a week now. And this one was wild. I asked her, I'm like, how many needles are you putting in me? Because I know there's a lot. And I was always guessing, I'm like, there's got to be like 30. Bro, 42. I got 42 of those needles in me. And I wonder if I don't have it there. I'll tell you what, guys, she's really good at what she does, and it's interesting because every time I go, she's just kind of monitoring where my body's at and then doing different points and working on different things for wherever my body's needing to release the energy and release the blocks. By the way, for those of you that are unfamiliar with these videos,
now take the Interstate 65 South ramp on the right.
All I'm doing here is tracking my semen retention journey and sharing all this other stuff that I'm doing. And my theory was that cool, semen retention, we're storing up all this energy. Yes, we're saving up all this spiritual life force, which is fantastic. But if I have blocks in the meridian systems and the energetic pathways, the road systems, the energy isn't going to flow well and isn't going to be used properly. So what's the point of that?
In 1,000 feet, keep left to stay on Interstate 65 South.
So then I was like, well, screw it. Let's start
now keep left to stay on Interstate 65
going all in
South.
on acupuncture for a season here, doing twice a week, and see what happens. And it really has started to become a game changer, guys. So in there today, she put 42 of these needles in, and like when I told you guys last week that
in 1 mile, keep left to stay on Interstate 65 South.
When I told you last week that I was feeling a lot of just like, it's almost like my left leg in the calf area is just like opening up. It just kind of felt like the meridians are like pushing through something and like working through something. And turns out that spot primarily that we've been working on is spleen, liver, and a little bit of kidney as well. And so we hit that pretty hard again this week. And dude,
now keep left to stay on Interstate 65 South.
She put one of these needles in at a spot right above it, and bro, like that sucker actually hurt a little bit. Like she hit the spot with that one. And typically when there's more of a block built up in that area, you feel it more like that. And when there isn't as much of a block built up in the area, you don't feel it as much. That's what she's been explaining to me and walking me through. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense, that with all the stuff happening in that area, that needle, that I really felt that one. And there were a decent amount of those that she was working on, and we're doing a lot around the sinuses and everything. But it's interesting because based on my tongue anatomy this time, she's like, oh, you're sleeping better. You're not getting enough sleep. She's like, you're not sleeping long enough, but when you are asleep, you're sleeping better. You're sleeping deeper. I can tell based on your heart sheet. It's like, man, that's wild because I have been noticing that a little bit, but I hadn't really put it into words yet. Because my sleep schedule has been just so off for so long, for so many years, that I just don't even pay it attention anymore. It's like, okay, wake up, tired, all right, push through the day. That has been my mentality for the past, man, guys, 15 years, 12 to 15 years, something crazy like that. But I do feel relief from that coming. And she keeps telling me every time, she's like, I will have you sleeping on my table. You will fall asleep on my table one of these times. And I'm like, no, not yet. She's like, no, I'll get you. You will be asleep. Because normally I just lay there in a very peaceful state for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. She just turns the lights off and puts some waves on and a heat lamp on, and she's like, I'm gonna get you. It's like, that would be, man, that's gonna be so cool. Because sleep has been the thing that has eluded me for many, 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 many years. And I've always been a light sleeper since all this stuff started to happen. And it really does feel like she's getting to the core of it and starting to reverse that stuff now, which is really good. Side note, guys, I tell you all the time, I see the new Corvettes whenever I'm driving back from these, and there is a freaking sexy one that is all white right here. Bro, this is so freaking clean. And I tell you a lot about that when I'm talking about the reticular activating system, and when you start to place an intention of, I'm interested in buying this car. It would be cool to get this type of car. You start to see that thing everywhere. Your mind starts to filter it in. So I've been doing that with Corvettes, the new Corvettes. I'm like, oof, that would be a fun one. And
in 1 mile, keep left to stay on Interstate 65
I
South.
see it again. By the way, rocking a Dr. Joe Dispenza t-shirt. If you're like, man, that is a pretty tight t-shirt. I'm not talking tight as in cool. I'm talking tight as in just, that is a physically tight t-shirt. Yes, because it is 100% cotton and this mother trucker shrunk. And I'm not getting rid of it because I earned this shirt. When you go to Dr. Joe Dispenza's week-long meditation retreats, they always give you a shirt for the event, and I think this one was the Denver.
Now keep left to stay on Interstate 65
the Denver,
South.
Colorado one. Pretty tight. Pretty tight. But guys, let's bring it back to semen retention for a minute here. Because there is an overlap when it comes to semen retention. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work around meditation and energy and healing, and acupuncture in traditional Chinese medicine. It's taken me a lot of time and experience and fails to slowly start to put this model together and finally figure this out. I started with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Completely changed my life. Completely led me to learning the power of the mind, the power of the body, learning to operate it properly. Did that for many years. And then came to the realization that semen retention is also very powerful as a way to save up your sexual energy. And then realizing that, yes, Dr. Joe does talk about this. Dr. Joe Dispenza does talk about this idea of conserving your sexual energy, moving it up instead of out. Instead of releasing it out, release it up and use it and circulate it. Build your magnetic field with it and use it to heal and build and grow and do what you want in life. And when I went to the last Dr. Joe Dispenza week-long meditation retreat in Nashville late last year, I decided to go on a semen retention streak prior. So when I got there, I was already over 40 days into a semen retention streak, guys, and the amount of energy that I felt like I was capable of generating and holding at that event in those meditations was effing insane. The most that I have ever felt. And it's funny because the 3 events prior to that I had gone to felt like, oh, next level, this one's next level. I feel like I'm playing with more energy than I ever have before. No, this one was like the next level again, and I was able to just sit with it and hold it and use it. And that is where it really started to click for me. It's like, mother fucker, dude, this is it. You need more energy to play with, bro. You need more energy to play with when you're doing this stuff, to aim at your target. Lo and behold, here I am now. Tomorrow will be 250 days on this semen retention streak, and that is what I have been obsessing with, is storing up this energy and aiming it
in 1 mile,
at my life, aiming it at the things that I actually desire from life. It makes so much sense. But then, fast forward, and I'm over 200 days on this streak, and I start to realize there's a missing piece. And when I meditate, either in the mornings or at night, usually both, but when I was doing my nightly meditations, I was starting to just express gratitude for the breakthroughs, for the right next steps, pouring into my life, my reality. And one of the big ways that shows up for me is typically YouTube videos. Maybe you experience this as well. Maybe I have been that for you, which is super cool, because other people have been that for me, and their YouTube videos show up. And I started to watch some YouTube videos around traditional Chinese herbal medicine and acupuncture.
In 1 mile, take the Port Royal Road exit on the right.
I started to piece all that together. I'm like, dude, there's something here, and I haven't taken acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine seriously. I have pretty much done everything else except that. Okay, let's start playing with that, shall we? And that led me to do a lot of herbs and watch a lot of videos and build up my conviction, and then finally start to reach out to acupuncturists. Like, you know, whatever, dude. Like, I'll find the best one that's meant to be. And it's funny because the one that I actually wanted, that I was all set on going to, I couldn't get into, and I was frustrated. But
now
isn't it funny?
Road exit on the right.
Oftentimes when that happens, it means there's something better. There's a better option. There's a better alternative. And I truly believe that I found the best alternative for acupuncture. I truly believe I found the best lady that there is. She literally wins. Best acupuncture every single year. Best business, acupuncture business in a very, very competitive area. She doesn't even put up the plaques anymore because she doesn't care. She's the best. And isn't it funny, sometimes we try to force things because we think it's right, but really there is a better thing in store for us if we can open ourselves up to it. So there's a lesson in that. And And then I've said, okay, yeah, Jason, you're on 200 something plus days of semen retention. What happens if we pair this with opening up the energetic systems in the body? Because there's still stuff, I could still sense in my body that there's stuff off, still blocks. And when I think about it like this, guys, I think it's like there's dams built up in the body. You think of a dam, it's holding this huge reservoir of water, right? It's holding this gigantic amount of water back. And I consider that the semen retention energy. I consider that all of this energy that we are generating and kicking up. Man, everybody around here's got little dogs. They're just freaking everywhere. I should get a dog. Let me park here and we'll keep this conversation going because I've got a few minutes. But think about it like this, guys. You're building up this gigantic freaking ocean of energy is what it feels like. This huge body of water, this energy, this sexual semen retention energy. You're storing this up. It's like, great. That is power. Awesome. But there's a dam in the way. It's like, it's not going to be able to flow how you actually want it to flow. It's just kind of being held back. I'm like, okay, then I probably have some blocks in my body. Let's explore. Are they emotional? Probably. Are they physical? Probably. Let's go check it out. And that is what I've been addressing now with these acupuncture appointments every 2 weeks. Or not every 2 weeks, twice a week, every 3 or 4 days. This is a very early appointment, by the way. I'm not used to getting up this early, so I'm still pretty tired for the day after, especially getting out of an hour peaceful meditation from that session. So that's what I'm doing now, guys. I'm combining these three things together. And did you notice before I started doing the acupuncture, I said, no, first I'm going to geek out over this. I'm going to build my conviction in this. I'm going to build my conviction, build my faith. That's another way to look at it. And then I'm going to go do the thing. And then I'm going to put in some work and some action and find the one and then do the thing. And I would encourage you guys, I've talked about this a lot, but I would encourage you to do the same thing for semen retention. If you're going to do semen retention, you might as well go build your conviction really freaking high so that you truly believe in what it's going to be doing for you. There is a correlation to the mind and the body and your belief systems. And you're going to be able to stick with something longer if you are more convicted in it that it's the right thing for you to be doing. Yeah? So that is that's something that I've been doing with the acupuncture. And by the way, my favorite way, guys, to build conviction, it's really quite simple. It's education, learning from people, reading books, watching YouTube channels, discovering information so I can apply the information. Because knowledge is power when applied. Because it motivates you into the inspired actions, right? So that really has become my trifecta, guys, these days that I'm really, really, really excited about. Obviously, you could throw diet and health and like proper eating and stuff like that into this equation. But Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, look into it. It'll blow your freaking mind. Semen retention, obviously, because you are here on this channel, probably for that. And then, oh, how do we get this energy to flow and combine all these things? Would have been nice to be able to figure that all out right away. Years ago. That would have been ideal, y'all, to be able to have this information and piece this trifecta all together. But hey, this is the journey. And you might realize this too. If you're building stuff, if you're typically early to the game, so to speak, if you're typically ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff, you're obviously going to be the one clearing the paths for the people to follow behind you. And when that happens, you don't get to learn all the lessons from everybody. You're the one making the errors, making mistakes, trial and errors, trial by errors. You're the one that's gotta make the mistakes. You gotta learn from them and fine tune it, find a better way to do it. Just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But if you can get addicted to that, I mean, that's kind of the life of an entrepreneur, to be honest, the entrepreneurship journey. But that's really where all the value is, guys, because then you build a custom plan, a custom thing that's going to be able to help benefit other people down the line, and it's going to give people a reason to listen to you, right? I wouldn't have started this YouTube channel, well, I guess I wanted to years ago, but when I finally started it late last year, I have accrued so many life lessons and things that I have tried and tested on myself and learned good, easy lessons, learned hard lessons, that I finally have stuff to speak on, to share, value to give, value to offer to the world. And I would encourage you, if you are feeling like you're going through rock bottom, perhaps you are dealing with some shit, maybe consider it like this. You are in that like discovery stage of figuring out what works, trial by error. And your journey, guys, your personal journey is actually going to be potentially one of the biggest benefits for you. The biggest gifts. Because when you think about it, the people that you follow and you listen to, why? Why do you do that? Probably because they have had a journey that you can relate to, right? Because it feels familiar. It feels like they get you because you're on a similar path, a similar journey. They went through what I went through and they made it through. Here's a great example. Alex Hormozy, big business entrepreneurship guy. Me and my business partner were all into his methods and what he does. Huge inspiration. In his journey, he worked his tail off, guys, from nothing to building an empire and going through all these hard things, whatever. And now he made it through and look who he is. But like, he can teach from where he has been. And now those of us who have been in that situation, or maybe you're still in that, like where he used to be, you can relate. And then you are open to information. You can resonate. That information resonates with you. Your nervous system is open to that. You can learn from it. And then pretty soon you're like, oh my gosh, I love this guy. Someday I'm going to go to an event. Someday I'm going to work with him. And you study whatever. But it's because his journey looks like your journey is looking like. So maybe, just maybe, the bullshit, this valley season, this difficult thing that you're going through is actually a huge advantage that you cannot yet see. By the way, guys, these videos, I don't have any plans for these when I'm coming back from the acupuncture session. I'm just going off what I'm feeling. Sometimes it feels like I'm channeling information or ideas, whatever, but I'm just rolling with it. So you might need to hear this if this is for you, so keep listening. You might be going through the bullshit season, but the bullshit season is probably turning you into the version of yourself that you need to be to actually be worthy of the success season, the victory season, the mountaintop season. The next version of you that you've always dreamt of being. You just didn't realize that to become that version, you had to go through all this bullshit. It's the hero's journey, guys. It's It's like the hero leaves his tribe, leaves his village to go spend years in the wilderness by himself, surviving, being torn down, being broken down to the bottom of himself, only to build himself back up into a warrior so that he can then come back to the tribe and save the village and save the tribe. And be that guy, be him. You can only do that because he just spent how many years getting shit handed to him by life? I resonate with that deeply. I thought by now there were certain things in life that I would have had accomplished and done, and life would have looked differently. But instead, life put me through arguably the shittiest rock bottom season that lasted longer than I ever could have fathomed or imagined. And I'm glad I always thought that it was that I was overly optimistic about how long it would take. I always thought it would take less time, and I think that's a reason that I've been able to push through and keep going. But I truly believe that this has actually been the runway in disguise. The runway before the takeoff in disguise. Didn't look like a runway at all. Kind of felt like I was just rolling down a hill. Like, holy shit, holy shit. But if you think about it, rolling down a hill is going to get you a lot of freaking momentum for the takeoff. If you can visualize that for a second. You're like running down this hill. It's like that YouTube video of these, it's like in a different country, I think. It's just people rolling down a hill, and they're like, it's like a competition. They're like, bro, they're like flipping. Like, insane. Like, y'all could get hurt pretty badly. I'm picturing that. It's like you trip, you stumble, also, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Ah, it won't stop, you know? But what if that is your runway to get momentum, to learn the lessons, to be able to take off? I've always been a big dreamer, I've had a big vision for my life for a long, long, long time. And I think I finally realized that to be that version of myself and accomplish those things required me to be a version of myself that has been through so much bullshit and difficulty and suffering that I will never, ever take it for granted or lose control or wield that power poorly. I'm telling you guys, it's turned me into a version of myself that I am confident that I can hold the full amount of power, status, respect, whatever it is, well, and find a way to make sure that it gives back to the world. How exciting is that, you know? Maybe that motivates you. Hopefully that inspires you or gives you a little bit of hope. Maybe the bullshit that you're going through is because, hey, maybe you have an anointing on your life that is bigger than what you realize. Maybe you have a purpose that is bigger than what you can even realize. But to unlock it, you got to be that next version of you. Internally, externally. Meaning you got to go through some shit, some tests to make sure you are the guy that you got to be to pull that off. That's how I look at this. And semen retention is going to accelerate the movement through that, in my opinion, in my experience. It's going to accelerate your movement through that shitty period. I firmly believe I could have sped this season up, that rock bottom shittiness season. I fully believe I could have sped that up into a much shorter time period had I fully understood and understood the value of semen retention, retaining this sexual energy, aiming this correctly, aiming this properly, transforming myself by renewing my mind with this practice. I firmly believe I would have hit this breakthrough moment a lot sooner. So hopefully there's some of you out there that can learn from what I'm sharing here, take this more seriously, and get to move through what you need to move through quicker to become the man that you need to be quicker to step into that purpose, that fulfillment. It's a good conversation, guys. This is deep. That was acupuncture session 5 or 6, something like that. Invoice number 5. Okay, it was number 5. Acupuncture session number 5. I'll keep you posted as I continue to go. She gave me a new herb today. Spirit warmer. So I'll be hitting this week. It's kind of funny, all these herbs are, some of them, they don't even have English words. They're just Chinese. And all right, I trust you. We'll do it. It'll be great. So that's where we're at, guys. Keep going. Keep pushing through. If you made it this far, guys, give me a little lightning bolt emoji. Let me know you got this far. You're an OG. Sometimes these videos go long, and the meat, the good stuff of this isn't until the end of the video. So hopefully you made it this far. Peace, love, abundance, guys. I'll catch you later.